Hello, welcome to Astro Breeze's weekly transits or Astro Weather. I kind of like that, Astro Weather. A couple things before we dive into this week's transits. Um, this month, and this was just kind of interesting. Today, well, like last Tuesday, um, the we had the new moon, and today we have the half moon, and then next week we'll have the half moon. Yeah, I'm sorry, the full moon last week, and then this is the half moon. You see, or that quarter of a degree or around, and then we'll have the new moon next week. And then anyway, it's every 7 days, and right now it's just on our Tuesday, on the Tuesday of this. So, and then it switches next month. It'll be instead of the 7, 14, 21, 28, which I thought was just kind of cool for this month. It'll go to on the 6th. It'll go like the 6th, 13th, 20th, 27th, and then the next month it goes, I think, on the 4th, and then it moves back. It's just kind of cool how it tracks like on a certain day. But I just thought that was interesting. Also, with using just a little bit of astrology in your life, one good thing to get into practice of is looking for the void of course moon. Is that the few hours every few days? The moon makes a sign change every 2.5 days, and sometimes the void of course moon is when there's no more aspects between. It's like the last aspect the moon makes before it changes signs, and sometimes it's real quick, and other times it's many hours, long time. It could be half a day or so. And what's significant is that there's been a lot of findings because the moon is offline at that time, so to speak. And it's not good for making decisions, sending things, anything that you want done. If there's something that you don't want done, it's like if you don't want to go to jury duty, or if you don't want to do something, if you don't want to go to if you got to send back the invitation and you really don't want to go, that'd be a time to do it because they'll probably get lost or something like that. The moon void of course time. But yeah, you don't want to sign contract or something because it will amount to nothing. It won't work. So that's good to watch through the week. And there's oftentimes there's a few days or hours that you just might want to be aware of. Also, I mean, it's kind of different for each, depending on where you live. So um, that's just good, something to have in your calendar to know that. And then when we look here, our weekly transits, we want to note when a sign is changing. A planet is changing sign, and when a planet goes retrograde. So that tells us a lot with timing of events. Okay, so let's dive right in. March is a busy month. It's an interesting month. There's a lot going on, and it's good to dissect it like week by week. So it's like I hear reports and I look at stuff for the whole month, and it kind of you get like Astro babbled kind of out. But I like to look at the longer term things, of course, to see like what's happening. And something is closing in on a square or closing in on with some sort of aspect. So you get the longer term ideas, but then break it down weekly. So we know that we just had a sign change. Saturn just moved into Pisces, and that should start feeling really different, and we get into the next 2.5 years of that dissolving of borders, dissolving of energies, wearing away, or mineral deposits in wet places, kidney stones, gallstones, things like that in the body, gout, so looking at that, we have to look at the signs both in the planet both ways. You go the hard and the soft, and then the dissolving of the hard both ways. Saturn hard, and Pisces dissolving. So I preface that because we have this big lineup in Pisces. We start kicking off with Saturn at 0 degrees, and we have Mercury just barely trailing the sun. It's blazing ahead. It's going to go ahead of the sun, and then excuse me, then get ready to do its retrograde soon. So it's at 21 degrees Mercury. We have the sun at 24 and Neptune at 25. So both the sun and Mercury are approaching Neptune, the annual or annular, annular. conjunction that they have. And but it's interesting that they're all together this year. You know, they're never, sometimes they're not always coordinated. So let's start looking at that. But that's giving us a big heavy dose of this um dreamy, laid back Pisces energy. And I can tell you, you know, myself, I want to get going on a lot of things, but it's just not quite time yet. You know, it's just not quite there. You know, there's like piles of stuff that's got to get moved and done, but I know it's not time to get connected. There's like all kinds of little half-butted projects that just kind of got put on hold, and other things are in the way, and there's a lot of clearing, and you know, this sort of nebulous zone, and I know I can feel it's almost the end. And I think if everybody has that sort of feeling. And then it also leads us to, you know, this the Neptune square to Mars. You know, that's been, you know, as Mars was in its you know, retrograde before, you know, it went zipping through and then it retrograde and back over in the fall. Now it's going forward and it's making that third hit, that third square over, you know, to them, to Neptune. And remember, they're both mutable. So um, a lot of stuff may not stick and a lot of stuff may have been put on hold, and maybe you've had to rethink and redream stuff, reconfigure, reformat, re-go over, and you know, before that energy, because that energy of Mars kind of had to go back through. It went back through, double take, you know, a mutable sign, you know, so it kind of used that energy to maybe restructure something that shouldn't have been to begin with, or turned sour, or wasn't quite right. So anyway, I think that's a big key is to just let that correct itself in all of your lives. You know, we have that because now Mars is starting to move forward, and that energy that, you know, we all have this stuff that we want to get done and do, but it's been in this formulative phase, and it's just kind of been in nebula land. And now, you know, we're that square, that last square is sort of testing us, you know, and making you go into your imagination and then produce physical results, because Mars wants to do something and then it's bringing these ideas. You know, there's still Gemini stuff, you know, it's still out there, you know, talking. It's like, at Mars is like, it's all talk. And then now we're squared up with Neptune, who's all dreams, like, shit, I'm never going to get anything done. But Mars is heading toward Cancer. Well, you think, well, that's almost going to be throwing like water on fire. It's like, shit, Mars can't win for losing this time. Well, you know, it's like you can't fight this energy, and it's going to be like, um, instead of thinking about it where it's going to put water on the fire, it can tame that fire and make it more responsible for what its creations are. You know, it's being in Cancer, the home, the homeland. um I don't want to say like patriotic, but yeah, it could be patriotic on one level, you know, but it's not like under a governmental patriotism. It's it's um it's not a governmental patriotism. It's more of just a human patriotism. So Mars going into Cancer, you know, more like a human patriotism, not like, you know, political sides and all that. So that's what I think people are going to get, maybe more respectful of their home, their homeland, their communities, you know, when Mars goes into um, that home sign of Cancer. Also, it's home itself, you know, the energy for home and the home front as Mars heads toward Cancer. So it's breaking through, you know, it's like the last little bit of energy, harsh words, funky thoughts, redressing grievances, going over stuff, redreaming, um, sorting out, getting that last little bit of movement through that Gemini energy, squaring up now with Neptune. It's like going back over that dream, that vision that you had, and put it more into context before it starts to really rubber hits the road with the home. You know, because, you know, many of you may have some concrete issues, you know, to deal with your home. And then it'll take, I think that the traction will be then as Mars heads on toward making um you know, a sextile then with Neptune when it goes into Cancer. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. We're seeing all this heavy duty Piscean energy, and we're seeing all of this triple conjunction, you know, over here while it's squaring Mars. Now look, this is what's cool. Okay, so that's today. And then it just I don't know, it's going by fast. Ah, come on, one day at a time. All right, tomorrow we can see that, that the sun now, it's like they're, that goes joins up with Neptune, and then Mercury is just hot on its heels. So I'm just going to go the next day because it's really kind of cool when that happens. Wednesday's just a prelude to Thursday. I think it's a prelude. Look at this. I mean, they go over Neptune, but yet they're. I mean, it's going to be through from Wednesday. This is 4 p.m. Eastern time, so like late Wednesday, depending on where you're on the planet, into Thursday, we have the Sun and Mercury traveling together, changing places, going over Neptune. Look at that. They're all at 25 degrees, varying stages, and I happened to pick it today at this degree. Um, and um, sorry, gosh, new phone, and then it didn't get put down. Hold on. I think so. There we go. Never fails. Okay. All right. So anyway, it's just kind of cool that they're all right at that degree, and then the sun is right there before it changes, into the next sign. But it's just cool that they're all right there, and they're all squaring Mars all at the same time. Look at that. So tomorrow afternoon, Thursday afternoon, it's about 5 o'clock, 4:30 Eastern time. You might just kind of want to chill and not be interactive with a whole lot of people if you don't have to. This could be like a bar fight. Everybody's getting drunk here in Pisces, and then Mars comes in and knocks over somebody's beer. All right, I'm just being funny, but it is what it is. This is a square. All of this ganging up here against Mars. Well, poor Mars just has just been wanting to move ahead, and it's just getting momentum. And now we got all this Pisces stuff over there, kind of like dragging it down, maudlin, making it feel guilty. So don't fall into that trap coming into, the next few days. That's just, with the heavy Pisces and that late degree, and then over by cantankerous, wanting to, just get stuff done. I'm just moving through here, Mars. All right. That's a big deal, And then look, we got this whole pileup now coming up into Aries in a few days. We'll have the new moon right over there. So then now we're going to kind of switch, really get ready for this energy. I can't stress it enough. Sometimes you don't know it till you know it, but get all your ducks in a row. Take advantage of the naps, the sleep time, the downtime where you can't do anything yet. There's sometimes you just stalling. You got to wait on something, and it's going to happen as soon as we start clicking more into Aries. All right, but interesting though, Venus will be out. Look, this is so cool. It's like Venus is like, okay, I'm out of here now. This day, Venus is also squaring Pluto. We got all this Piscean energy going on, and Mars conversation, and then we got Venus square too. Whoa, another square. So we have a mutable square. Now we got a cardinal square. We got the moon trining over to Uranus, though. That's kind of cool. And then I thought I saw another square here. We got that one. Maybe I was looking at something else. Oh yeah. Well, no. That's what I was. No, never mind. Must have been looking at something else. But anyway, the moon is making nice trine over here to this. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, the moon is squaring all of this Aries stuff too. That's what else too. So because it's going to come join this, so we have the moon and Pluto. The moon especially. Pluto's already gone through. Making squares to Jupiter and Venus, the benefics, and Chiron. The moon is going to maybe square up with Chiron. So there may be some emotional wounds, kind of coming up with all of this Piscean stuff squaring off with Mars, maybe righting some old wrongs, balancing the ledger, balancing the check sheet. Yeah, because Chiron is, being in Aries, and then having the moon there now, this again, monthly kind of picks off a layer of that wound and maybe making it better, because now we have a lot more of this Pisces Mars mutable square, that's it can't help but have to go over that stuff and get it right, because those things are moving on. I'm done with this stuff, baby. All right. Yeah, that's a busy day. And I think that, between now and then, we're building up to all of this. So then Venus changes signs. Whew, She's now home. She's like, Fuck. Whoa, whoa. What an ordeal, man. She had like some prowler at her front door, she had to deal with before she slipped into her house. Been a long journey. Whew, she had to deal with Pluto sitting right there. Ugh. Whew. I'm just getting the drama of it, but it really makes sense. So now, we got a different feel now Friday. It's like we've kind of gone past all that now. It's like past it. The sun and Mercury are now past this. Um, the sun is still riding with the square to Mars, though. We still got that a little bit. But Venus is now into her sign and she's moving faster. And then we go, and then now the moon has gone over Pluto as well. So that's drug up some more stuff from the depths, drudged them up. Okay. Oh, where's that button? All right. And then now we move on into Saturday. And now Mercury's ahead, about ready to move into its sign change. So another sign change here. And there we go. So now within this week, 2 sign changes. I mean, the moon, don't count that, but now, we've got Mercury change signs, and then the sun will as well. So we'll have 3 all in a week here. And then Mars is getting close to its. So let's just track on this ahead, because it's like we get this little in breath, out breath. We get a day or two. It's like kind of like, although the moon on Sunday is going over Saturn in Pisces now. So it hasn't gone over, Saturn here in 28 years. It's been going over it, in Aquarius for the last 2.5 years. So this is going to feel different as well. We're not totally out of the woods with the Piscean energy yet. Right at the tail end of the sun here, just past going over, Neptune. I think, to me, this is like a lot of this modeling, feel guilty kind of energy. So don't buy into it, give all that guilt or anything you feel about anything back to whoever it came from. If you did not do what your part think, if you should have done something, make some kind of atone for it, either if you can do it physically, if not mentally or spiritually, because this energy is coming up to deal with that before everything really moves on into Aries. So the moon, maybe Sunday, it's kind of a day for that type of thing anyway, with it going over reflective Pisces and over Saturn. That's going to give you the side, sort of the spiritual sobriety, maybe, to handle some of that. Okay. And Monday, moon's still in Pisces, and it's going to go over this mess over here. It's going to go over Neptune and over the sun. Well, no, the sun will leak out, I think, before it gets over there. Yep. Okay. Nope. Look at, yeah, right there. That's what I meant. Okay, so I want to bet before it gets over to its equinox. There we go. I want to get hours. Let's go to hours, because it's cool, because it goes right. No, we're gonna have to go around. Bear with me. It's almost there. There we go. Okay. So next week, I mean, we'll hit it again next week, but I can't leave you hanging on Monday stuff. This is because we're building up to this. This is, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies, in Aries, like, from 1 week to the next, from right now to next week. And that's, we got a big bunch of Aries energy there. We still got, Neptune, it's, a little bit down in there, but now everything, is going to leave that alone for a while. And when Saturn meets up, it'll be in Aries, I believe. They'll meet up in Aries. Longer cycle, but let's just focus on this. So there's our new moon. Wow. 0 degrees Aries. Talk about a new moon. Talk about a start to the new year. This is kind of, this is like not only is the equinox really kind of the start of the real new year, being the start of Aries, but they're at 0 degrees this year. Where they're meeting up. Wow. So that's pretty powerful. Look, we're in 18 seconds. I can probably move it a little bit more till it's right there. But anyway, I just wanted to leave this so you can see it. Sometimes it's really powerful like that. So think about the person maybe born with this. I mean, it's always intriguing to me to look at when all these stelliums and things kind of line up like that. Look at this lineup. Wow, from from this we got from um Neptune over to Uranus, I mean with the moon node there, but we got one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine bodies. I mean, it's the moon node's not a body, but it's a place in space, of course, but there's nine, thank you, um, energies right there. So that's pretty powerful. Aries energy that we're definitely coming into. Um, and then we've got on the other side, we're gonna ignore the south node and the vertex, but on our other side, we got like a bull chart forming here. We've got our Pluto, which is forming the end player, and until something that comes around, like when we had the faster moving planets, but otherwise it's kind of our anchor planet. And then now we have Mars on the front end, so both kind of malefics, on the front end of this bowl. And it's not quite in a perfect orb. It's a more compact one. It won't hit that. It won't hit that for a while because Mars is getting the other way around. But anyway, as Mars is getting in, what am I saying? As Mars goes into Cancer, we'll have the other end of it. It will widen out, but I'm not sure what if Venus will beat it or not. We'll have to look. But anyway, I digress. Tripping out on that. So anyway, here's our pattern. Quite interesting array and very nice tight grouping up here of the Aries. We've got Sun, Moon, and Mercury, all real close. And the Moon's gonna within the day, it's gonna be right over there, over the Sun, and then going over Mercury. Then the Moon will then go over all the other Aries planets right here. So very interesting week. Again, you can see how quickly it's going to change. So go over all that stuff, do whatever you need to do with all the old Pisces things, and get ready for this Aries alignment. This is gonna be very cool. We'll talk more about it next week, but very fun. Yay. All right, until we meet again. Bye for now.